What's going down, everybody? Welcome to Rex Speaks. I want to dive right into something. I want to talk to the men. I want to talk to the men because there's something that I hear all the time, and you hear it too, and maybe you've said it. When we're talking about dating, there's this proverbial what you bring into the table. I want to talk about the table. I want to talk about the table that we hear so much about. And let me also say, it saddens me so much. I can scroll through Instagram threads, especially. I don't know what's going on with threads, and the women seem to hate men. It is an epidemic. I don't know who, and it's the men are really not any better, but it's especially the women. And I wonder if there's an accountability issue, but we're not going to get on that. I won't touch on that. I want to talk about the table today, and it was something that I was been kind of meditating on, and it was something that God gave to me. I'm not saying that what God gave to me visually is what He gave to you, but I feel like sharing it with someone with a teachable spirit, because as a man, you need to have a teachable spirit, which brings me to just point number one. You don't want to be the type of man that is unable to listen. You don't want to hear it. You feel like your role in being the leader is knowing everything. Listen, a leader's job is not to know everything. A leader's job is also knowing how to serve, knowing how to listen. If you don't know how to listen, how are you ever going to evolve in your role? You mean to tell me you show up and everything is just perfect as is and you know everything? Absolutely not. And more oftentimes than not, God is using messengers to speak to you to help you in your journey in leadership. But I find that a lot of men don't want to listen. I think that your pride and your ego get a little bruised because you think that if you listen to someone or if someone gives you some good advice or some wisdom, that makes you insufficient. No. When we think biblically, I think about Moses. Moses knew how to take an order. Moses knew how to learn when his father-in-law gave him, some good instruction. We have to make sure as a man, make sure that you're going into any dating, especially seriously dating. I'm not talking about you want to meet a chick at cocktail hour, happy hour. You're not looking for anything major. This is not for you, but I want to talk to the men who are at the point in their life where maybe they're starting over or maybe they're looking for a godly wife. You have to have a teachable spirit, honey. And we love that as women because a woman loves to be heard. You can say those good morning, beautiful texts all day long, but at the end of the day, we get tired of that. We like to be heard. Now, listen, there are a certain aesthetic of women who are very superficial. Yeah, they may want to be told that, oh, yeah, you look good, you look good. That's what they thrive on. They're more simpletons. I'm not talking about the women who are simpletons. I'm talking about a woman with a strong mind, and she wants to be able to be your helper. You're going to have to be able to listen. She may have better directions in this scenario. It's okay to say, babe, you're right. And I believe that, let's go biblical, when Proverbs 18:22 says, a man who find a wife find a good thing. I think that in this day and age, y'all think that a woman who finds a husband was the promise. That was not the promise. Now, stay with me. I'm not saying that having a husband isn't a wonderful thing. I loved being married. I loved having a husband. Hope to do it again someday. But this is about the promise that God left a man who find a wife. It said that you find favor in the Lord. Those are the promise that God gave a man. So in regards to that, you have to be ready for that, because it's not like you're just going to get this favor just because you just said, oh, I'm not ready and I'm not, I don't have the characteristics of said husband, but I'm going to get this favor with the Lord. Debatable, right? So I want to talk about the table. So I'm going to go ahead and say this and stay with me on this without getting ruffled and da 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 da. I'm going to say a woman is the table. A woman is the neck and probably I would even say maybe even the backbone of the family and the relationship structure. Everything really starts at the table. Y'all may not like the saying happy wife, happy life, but it is a true statement, because what I found in a good woman, not a broken woman, not a woman that refuses to be healed, and especially not a woman who will not surrender to God. Nothing wrong with the career woman, nothing wrong with the successful woman, but I'm talking about a woman that's submitted to God, because a woman that is fully submitted to God, she will understand how to fully submit to you if you are ready for that role. So if a woman is the table, right? She is the structure of what we eat upon. A man has to be the cloth that covers that table. Let me say that again. The covering of the table. Don't look, I know a man is a physical creature. I don't want you to look at that like, oh, a table is big and bulky and wood, so it's strong, and a tablecloth is flimsy. Stop looking at it from a physical aspect on that, on material. Look at what the role of a tablecloth is, because that's a strong something. The tablecloth covers the table. We may not even see the table. We don't see the table. We see the cloth first. So anything that touches the table touches the cloth first. Any water rings, any spills, any stains, any food that spills, it hits the cloth. It doesn't touch the table. Are you a protective of that woman? Can you protect so that nothing touches her? And let's look at what that means. A lot of y'all, and I keep going back to the car scenario, ladies too, and I know I said this is for the men, but you know, a man who loves you and is a protector, he cares about your car because that's your safety. It really hurts me when I hear about, oh, I got my tires, this, da, da, da. And a man is just kind of just, oh, well, you never think about what would happen if she's stuck on the side of the road. That's real. That's protection. You protect her. A man who is protective of them, and I'm just giving an example. A man is protective of the woman. He cares about that. Hey, do you have gas? Hey, that tire looks a little bald. Let's see what we can do about it. Which brings me and also when we're talking about covering. Yeah, you do have to have a certain amount of finances to cover. You have to cover that. It's a covering. You see. And this is not about, how much this is. I'm just telling you, it's a major factor because to cover that woman, how are you going to cover her if you are barely covering for yourself? I had a young man talk to me and he was not ready financially, emotionally, or mentally to be a husband. He wasn't. He admitted he wasn't. But he wanted a wife so bad because he thought he was going to find favor in the Lord. I said, and when you get that wife and you can't cover her, you can't provide for her, you can't offer her any stability, you can any of that, what's going to happen then? You've squandered your blessing. Listen, one thing about God, God is not going to give you good blessings to squander. So these are just things to let's take self-awareness to ask yourself, can you cover? That's what the tablecloth does. It's a covering, right? And let's just talk about a man of God. Do you cover her in prayer? It hurts me when I talk to a lot of Christian women, a lot of these women I go to church with, and they're with these guys, and I say, well, does he pray for you? Does he pray over you? Well, no. Well, if he's not submitted to God, that's automatically a red flag. That means you're winging it on your own. And again, if you're not trying to be a man of God, this ain't for you, baby. Scroll. But if you are, you pride yourself on being a man of God, a leader of the kingdom. I think that is one of probably the biggest thing you could do is be submitted and to know how to cover her in prayer. So you got the protection, you got the covering, and all that is under the umbrella of covering. We have the financial covering, the protection covering, the covering part. And I want to talk about something else. I know that men are physical creatures, but women, we like something to look at as well. A lot of men have a problem when you get married. You say, oh, she quit having sex with me. Well, number one, a woman is emotional. A foreplay starts way outside the bedroom. And I know I went straight to marriage, but I want to give you something to think about. How your body, how you keep yourself up. Because a lot of y'all don't even care anymore. Y'all skip the gym. Your hygiene isn't just the best. You skip things about yourself. You haven't even taken care of yourself. You haven't went to a dental checkup, got your teeth clean. You don't, see about your health problems. Y'all aren't, come on, talk to me. Y'all aren't doing these type of things, but you expect a woman to be all over you. You expect her. Let me tell you something about that tablecloth. It needs to be decorative. It needs to look like something because you represent me. I had a homegirl, her husband had, complained to me that she wasn't intimate with him anymore. And I talked to her. She said, look, I would be, but did you see all that stomach? He has gained so much weight. He doesn't get a haircut. Men, I got to come for you. Y'all get so comfortable in marriage. Y'all get so comfortable even in dating. It is if you stop pursuing, you stop seeking. You have to stop that because you represent her. Hey, get your hair cut, and let her help you with your wardrobe. Put on, a lot of times women are very, very good with that. Baby, put that with that. And don't be too hard headed when she says, put on those jeans with those shoes. That's what she likes. Put some cologne on, dude. Shave. A lot of y'all don't even keep shave. Hey, that cloth is what we see when we walk in your house. Oh, the cloth. And again, we haven't even seen what's under the table. We see the cloth. You represent each other. But right now I'm talking to the fellas. Hey, what you look like? That's how we judge her. Like, oh, that's such and such's man. So I'm saying all this to say, when you're thinking about what she brings to the table, I want to redirect your thinking and say, what kind of cloth am I for that table? What kind of cloth? Am I a sturdy enough cloth? Am I a decorative cloth? Everybody's not going to be, I don't know, a Denzel or whoever have you, a Method Man, Idris Elba, whoever it is. But you can do the best you can with what you got. And so many times it's your character that leads more than the physical. But do the best you can with what you got. Do the best. It wouldn't hurt you to go to the gym, baby. It wouldn't hurt you to, get a pedicure. All these things that you don't think that we're looking at because you so physical. We like to have something to look at as well. And so I want you to think about all these things. Instead of we are so selfish thinking about what you're going to do for me, what you're going to do for me. See, in God's eyes, God looks at servitude. We're servants. What can you bring value to her? If we go into dating saying, what would I bring as a value to this type of man in his life? How can I bring value to his life? How can it, me as a woman, when you find favor, how can I bring out and cultivate that into you? And I also think that I want to end this by saying, I think that you don't get told enough. I think that the sadness and the weight of the world is on you so tough and you don't have a lot of places to turn to. Maybe you're not into therapy. Maybe you are seeking God. I want to say, hey, man, I see you. We see you trying. I don't care what these men hating chicks out there are doing. They're sad and they bitter and they are lost. We can't do it without you. We cannot. So go into it and be the best qualified. The 2026, I need y'all to really, really start being the best cloths that y'all can be for the table. Thank you.